This is the story of a P-51D Mustang. The Mustang is the iconic fighter plane that served the United States Army Air Corps in Europe and the Pacific during World War II, and later during the Korean War. This is Pecos Bill. And this Mustang is a legend, not just an airplane. Today there are only a few P-51s left. Most of those are in museums, relics that will never fly again. But there are still a very few, flying Mustangs like Pecos Bill. Unlike those few other Mustangs flying today, Pecos Bill still has a mission. Like the American military veterans it supports, it too tells a story. The Mustang arrived in England when the whole free world needed the might it represented. It was the first fighter that could escort Allied bombers all the way to their targets, and it was the bane of Axis troops who felt the Mustang's wrath. From initial design to construction to its first test flight, American industry created the mighty Mustang in only 120 days. After that, the production line got rolling, and when it rolled, it really rolled. But then the war ended. The war machine ground to a halt. Almost overnight, there was no longer a need for the tens of thousands of airplanes that fought the war, that destroyed the Nazi and Japanese war machines. So why should you care that we keep a plane like Pecos Bill flying? Well, ask any of the veterans who've flown in the airplane. Ask any of them who have met Pecos Bill at air shows, veterans events, or looked up and seen this sleek silver bird winging low over a veteran's funeral. Sadly, many of those veterans, the ones who fought in World War II and Korea, have already passed. And of course, many of the veterans of those wars never made it home in the first place. They who made the ultimate sacrifice for America, most of all, deserve honors suitable to the sacrifice they made. A flying Mustang is rare indeed. Buying one these days will cost you millions, but that's not the end of the expense. Like the thousands of airplanes they supported, the spare parts that kept them flying were also rendered as scrap. If you're flying a Mustang today, you better know they just don't make Rolls-Royce Packard engines anymore. Even overhauling one from Pecos Bill can cost in excess of $200,000. Overhauling a carburetor can run in the neighborhood of $8,000. Pecos Bill is a living, flying example of the magnitude of their service. So long as this Mustang flies, the sacrifice of veterans of all American wars will be evident and real for generations yet to come. Your support of this aircraft and its mission of supporting veterans is critical. With your help, this classic warrior will continue to fly its support missions for veterans. Won't you consider helping us continue the legend that is Pecos Bill, the P-51 Mustang.